In the heart of New York City, nestled in a dimly lit studio apartment, lived Julian Cross, a once celebrated neuroscientist turned recluse. His name had vanished from academic journals, his lectures cancelled, his reputation shattered overnight after a failed experiment 5 years ago. The incident was never fully explained. People whispered about it in hushed tones, calling it Project Echo. Now, Julian survived on freelance coding gigs and the occasional sale of his vintage vinyl collection. But everything changed the night he heard that song. It was raining. Thunder rolled across the skyline like a war drum. Julian was sifting through old boxes when a dusty cassette labeled Echo 7 fell into his lap. He hadn't seen it since the shutdown. Heart pounding, he inserted it into his battered tape player. Static crackled, then a melody. A haunting piano line, layered with strings that seemed to breathe. Within seconds, Julian froze. His skin prickled. His arms erupted in goosebumps. Not the usual chill music sometimes brings, but something deeper, primal, almost painful. For the first time in years, he remembered why he'd started studying music in the first place, not for fame, but because music made him feel alive when nothing else could. But this was different. This wasn't just emotion. This was recognition. Julian rushed to his old lab notes, buried beneath floorboards, flipping through pages stained with coffee and regret. He found it, a diagram of neural pathways activated during Frisson, the scientific term for musical chills. Except in his notes, it wasn't just about dopamine. Buried in the margins was a theory he'd been too afraid to publish. Certain frequencies could trigger dormant memories, not from your own life, but from someone else's. He'd called it auditory transference. The military had funded him under the guise of studying trauma therapy, but when he played Echo 7 in a controlled test, one subject screamed, collapsed, and later described vivid memories of a childhood they never had, including the face of a man who didn't exist. The project was shut down the next day, classified. Now, hearing it again, Julian realized those weren't fabricated memories. They were his, fragments of a life he never lived. And the man in the memory? He looked exactly like him. Shaken, Julian tracked down Dr. Elena Voss, his former collaborator, now a bioacoustics researcher at MIT. She met him in a parking garage at midnight, eyes wary. "You shouldn't have played that tape," she said. "They're still watching." She handed him a flash drive. Echo 7 wasn't a song. It was a signal, a frequency designed to unlock encoded human consciousness. And you were the first successful subject. You don't remember that life, because it's yours, from a parallel timeline. Julian's breath caught. Parallel timelines weren't theoretical to them, they'd been experimenting with quantum resonance through sound. But something went wrong. In that other world, Julian never abandoned science. He perfected the technology. And then, he sent himself a message through music. Elena explained, the chills people feel when music moves them? That's not just emotion. It's the brain recognizing a resonance from another version of itself, faint echoes of lives lived differently. For most, it's just a shiver. But for Julian, Echo 7 was a key. That night, Julian returned to his apartment, plugged the flash drive into his old neural interface, and played Echo 7 again, this time synced to his brainwaves. The room dissolved. He stood on a rooftop under twin moons, wind howling, a city glowing with impossible architecture. A woman ran toward him, same eyes as Elena, but older, scarred. "You came back," she cried. The resonance worked. And then he remembered everything. He wasn't Julian Cross, the failed scientist. He was Dr. Julian Cross, the architect of the resonance bridge, a device that let consciousness hop between realities. But the cost was catastrophic. Each jump fractured the original timeline. He'd sacrificed his world to save another. The chills were the universe's way of reminding us that we're more than one life, that deep down, we're echoes of infinite possibilities. Back in his apartment, Julian stared at the cassette. He knew what he had to do. He uploaded Echo 7 to every music streaming platform under a fake name. Within hours, millions heard it. Reports flooded social media. "Why does this song make me cry like I've lived another life? I saw my daughter, but I don't have kids." The video Julian posted, "The real reason why music gives you chills," went viral in 12 hours. Not because of science, but because it felt true. Because for the first time, people didn't just hear music, they remembered. And somewhere, in a world with twin moons, a version of Julian smiled. Mission accomplished.